Hey there everyone, welcome back to another guitar tutorial. I hope you like that intro. I just thought I would, do that for a change, just play the song, see if you like it, just to give you like a better idea, let me know. But yeah, welcome back to another guitar tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to play Yellow by Coldplay on the acoustic guitar. And this is of course a classic, goes without saying. This is one of the first songs I learned on guitar actually, and it goes back with me quite a bit, this song. And the unique thing about this song is, like, the really unique and distinctive thing about it is, well, I guess we'll just get right into it. Basically, it's not in E standard, so you're not going to be in E standard as per usual. This is the first time we're going to be in a different tuning, but it's only just one string. So basically, what makes this song very unique and distinctive, and that they can't really be replicated, is because you basically are going to tune down the first string or the high E string to a D sharp. So here's an E, right? So you're just going to go from, imagine like, regular E, then you're going to go to a D sharp. So yeah, the best way to think of it is like this. All the other strings remain the same. So you've got E, A, D, G, B, and then instead of E, you've got D sharp instead. So it's just a half step down, just from E to D sharp or E flat. That's the only difference, and it's just on that one string, the first string, the high E string. So yeah, so it's going to sound like this. You should have. That's how it should sound. So it's just that one string. So it's still pretty simple, and that's what gives you this unique sound and feel and melancholic aura and just, an atmosphere in general. So yeah, so basically, again, the best way to get this tuning is just go to the 5th fret on the B string, and this will give you an E, right? And then go down one string, go down one fret to a so you got, so that was a different string. So basically, on the 5th fret of the B string, you've got an regular E, right? So then go down one fret to B string on the 4th fret, and then you've got this D sharp. And then just keep playing this, and then while tuning your first string down until this matches up. So once these two strings here match up like that, that's when you know you've got it. So you're going to use, again, as your reference point, the B string on the 4th fret. That'll be the same note that the first string is going to be. So that's how you can match it up. So yeah. So now let's get into it. So it's in the key of B major, but of course with this, slightly half step down tuning of the first string to D sharp instead of an E, but it's still, in the key of B major. Now, of course, I will say before we get into it, you can simplify it and play it like with a capo on, which would make it easier, but it doesn't give you the feel. It doesn't quite sound right. And it's not wrong to do that. It just won't be the same feel of the song. It won't give you the same feel and just sound, and it'll feel like it just won't feel quite the same, in my opinion. And I think it sounds much better this way. And this is the way that Chris Martin actually plays it, of course. If you listen to the song or the instrumental, you can clearly tell it's not just like regular chords, like with a capo on or without. It's, very distinctive chords in this like very melancholic kind of unresolved kind of chords, that kind of feel. So yeah, let's just get into it. So it's going to start out, as you just saw, right? The main thing to remember here is you're playing an E major shape. So basically, for a lot of these chords that you're going to be playing today, it's just going to be an E major shape sliding up and down the guitar neck. But it's the same shape, so you're not going to forming different chords, you'll keep your fingers on the same strings and just slide up and down the guitar neck like this. So of course, you do like more of an E minor shape, but that's a slight change there. But we'll get to that, and then at the end, that's the chord where you do the same kind of chord at the end. But ultimately, it's just the E major shape primarily for the song you're going to be playing, sliding up and down this E major shape while using your thumb, which is playing the root note for the bass in the song. Whatever your thumb's playing is what the bass note's playing, which is the root note of the chords, and that's going to wrap around as well. So basically, you're going to start out right. So you've got an E minor shape right on the 9th fret. So A. So you've got the A string, your ring finger's going to play the A string on the 9th fret. Then your pinky's going to play the D string on the 9th fret. Then you're going to play the G string with your middle finger on the 8th fret. Your index isn't going to play any strings, so just leave that off. And then your thumb's going to wrap up. So right now you should have this, right? Just the E major shape. And then you're going to use your thumb to wrap over to play the bass note, the root note, get the bass note in. And that's going to be playing a B, or it's going to wrap over the low E string, or the 6th string on the 7th fret. So you should have this. Can't use your thumb, then just use it to mute the E string, and then just play from the 5th string down. So you'll have this. It won't sound as full, but it's better than, still better than playing the regular chords with the cap or whatever. So, but if you can't use your thumb, wrap over the low E string on the 7th fret, and that should be great. So you have this. And here we go. Then basically, when it starts out, you hear in the intro, you hear this note. You hear that note being played like subtly. You hear like and that plays now and then. And so that's basically what we're gonna do is form this shape. You're gonna do like down strum, by the way. You can do alternate strumming just before you transition to the next chord, like I like to do. But mainly you're gonna focus on just primarily for this song, just down strumming. It's like a down strumming kind of song, like this, like that kind of thing. So anyway, for the first bit of the intro, the first change here is just take off your pinky. So you're gonna go. Take off your pinky off the D string and put it onto the G string of the 9th fret. So basically remove your pinky off the D string on the 9th fret here. So as you can see, so like that. So then just take it off and move it to the G string of the 9th fret. And that'll give you the feel, and then go back and then put it back onto the D string of the 9th fret again. So again, so you should have this. And then it comes into, all the instruments come in, and it goes into the intro when all the other instruments come in. So just focus on that, and then that's like the only real change you do. So apart from this little, your like fingers are going to stay on the same strings the entire time while playing the chords. But this is the only time where you just take off one of your fingers to play a different string. But it's not too difficult, so you should be able to get it down. Just work on that. And then anyway, the next chord then after doing that from this B major chord, you're then going to go slide down 5 frets, the exact same shape. Don't change anything. So think of it like a power chord, the same principle as doing a power chord. So it simplifies it and makes it a lot easier in that sense. It's the same principle, it's the same shape that you're doing, just on a different part of the guitar neck. So just slide down 5 frets all the way to here, which again is this E major shape that's being played. First your ring finger and pinky are basically playing the exact same strings on the 4th fret. Then your middle finger is playing same string again as the first chord on the 3rd fret, and then your index isn't playing any strings, and then your thumb's wrapped over low E string on the 2nd fret, and that's playing an F sharp. So again, it's just the exact same shape, nothing's different. You just slide down 5 frets, and that's your 2nd chord. And again, that's the beauty of this song. Very simple, but very effective and powerful at the same time. And then after that, just take off your thumb and just slide down to a regular E major chord. Right, and then after that, back to your first chord again, the B major chord. to this chord again. So there's just 3 chords, and then that'll get you all the way to the chorus then. So we'll get to that now, and then that's going to basically repeat then. So again, you'll just do this, like this song. Focus on that first chord again, like doing that first, because that's probably like, once you get that down, the rest will seem easier because you're actually taking off your pinky and putting it on a different string. So that's probably, like I had to say, the trickiest part to do. It's still fairly simple, but after you've got that down, everything else should feel more like a breeze because you're moving off your pinky and then going back, and then, so yeah. And mute the other string, the string in between at the same time while you do that, so it doesn't ring out. So like that. So yeah, then the F sharp, and to the B, and again, so the strumming pattern again is going to be like this. And you can do that, you can do that like just before you transition to the next chord, because I like to do that as you've seen me playing, so that's how I like to do it. But again, that's primarily how the strumming pattern is for this song. You can make up your own, as I always say, but this is like, you know, the way to do it for this song. There isn't really that many for this song, but that's like, you know, the best way and how it's played in the song. That is how Chris actually plays it. So yeah, so anyway, we'll get to the chorus now. There's 3 chords to get all the way to the chorus. So the chorus chords now is, you know, and then you go, coming from the B major, go to an E major. So that's like, you know, regular E major chords you got. Then this is like the next change now where you're doing this different type of chord. Now it's basically, the good thing again is your ring finger and pinky are staying on the exact same string, as you're just sliding up to the 6th fret, right? And your thumb's going to be wrapping over low E string on the 4th fret, which is going to be G sharp. And the difference is this time, instead of doing like the E major shape, take off your index finger, your ring finger and pinky stay on the exact same strings, the A and the D on the 6th fret, and then just take off your, you're not going to use your middle finger, you'll use your index finger this time, and that will play G string on the 4th fret. So again, you've got E major. Oh yeah. So then this chord then, so again, it's like an E minor, so think of like an E minor shape with your ring finger and pinky, your thumb's doing your thing, playing the root note, low E string on the 4th fret, and then pinky, index fingers playing the G string on the 4th fret as well. So that's like, you know, and this, you'll do this same chord shape again at the on like the verse outro. You'll do this chord, and then that's another good thing to know here. You will use this chord again, of course, for the next chorus, and then like you use it for the final like outro verse again. And then anyway, so the next chord then after this is slide down to your 2nd chord that I showed you before, you know, back to the E major shape chord with your thumb over on basically the F sharp major chord in this tuning. The 2nd chord basically of the verse, which I showed you just like momentarily ago. That's to be the 2nd chord, and then back to an E major again. So the chorus is, back to the regular chords again. It's the verse chords and the intro chords, which are the same thing. So yeah, so again, you've got this shape here, G sharp minor shape. And the 2nd chord is just, you just go down, so going up to the F sharp major, and then to the E major again. So again, so the chorus chord is just E major, G sharp minor, F sharp major, and then E major, and then back to the B major again. So again, feel free to pause, rewind, go over it, but I did, you know, specify individually what, you know, strings your fingers are going to play, because these are like, you know, wouldn't really chords in chord, they wouldn't really be in like on tabs or in chord books. You have to like just very specific chords, you know, so it's like, but once you do it, you get into a pattern and it will become kind of easier once you get into this repetitious pattern of just doing the same shape. Of course, you'll have to like change to this shape. So this might be one of the trickiest chords to do because like you play this in the chorus. Most of the time you're playing just that you're doing the E major shape, right? Going up like this, like that. In the chorus, you're doing this shape and then going back to the E major shape, like so from like there to there. Might be the trickiest transition for you, but just keep working on it and you will get it eventually. So yeah, so you got this G sharp minor, F major, F sharp major. But of course, you're not using your pinky, so you're getting more of like a kind of minor-esque feel. Even though it is an F major chord, it's more minor-esque because of this tuning that we're in and this distinctive, unique sound that we have. It's very nuancing. So yeah, so basically then, after that chorus, you'll then go back to the red chords. All the other chords then the same. Verse 2 comes in, play the exact same thing. No different. Then go into the second chorus again, the exact same chords, nothing changes. The next thing that's changed now will be the outro is the same as well. Like, look how they shine for you. Look how that'll be the same as the verse, intro chords, verse chords, all the same. So we've already gone over that now. The next chord to show now is just for the final, like, you know, outro verse, which I mentioned before, which I'll explain now. I'll show you what you'll do is you'll basically play the second chord of the chorus. Basically this chord here, the same like shape. You'll play the same shape, but just here instead. So basically, you've got So this time, instead of going to your like major, like you're at the F sharp major with the E major shape, you're basically gonna play chorus like shape basically, so like the E minor type shape. So you've got your ring finger and pinky are playing the exact same strings, right? They play the A and the D string on the 4th fret, and then of course the index finger is then going to play the G string on the 2nd fret, and your thumb's going to just wrap over the low E string on the 2nd fret, and you get this, which is basically the exact same like chord, like I just said, as the chorus chords up here for the chorus, but it's just down 2 frets. So you got, imagine the chorus chord I showed you before, just down 2 frets, and that's just like slight little like change at the end, subtle change. It's more of a minor, so that's like the main difference. Because if you listen to the song, you can just tell it's like. And it'll just end like that afterwards. But yeah, that's like one thing to know, a little quite subtle change where you do changes at the end there to this minor-esque feel. So one more time, you've got shine for you. All the things that you do. They were all yellow. And that's gonna do it. That's pretty much it, everyone. Yeah, thanks for watching. I mean, feel free to rewind, pause, go over it. I know, you know, this might seem more like, you know, complicated in some ways, but like, I promise you, once you can just get like the pattern down, once you can just do this like chord shapes and just be able to slide comfortably, it will become a lot easier because there isn't much changes. Your fingers aren't going to be moving around that much. They're just going to be playing the same shapes, but just sliding up and down the guitar neck on different parts of the guitar neck. Like, that's the main thing here. They're not going to be like with regular chords, like changing shapes, like doing, you know, like that. They're going to be the same shapes, more or less, just going up and down the guitar neck. So once you have that in mind, it will seem a lot easier to you, especially once you can like play, you know, slide up the guitar neck up and down comfortably. That will become a lot easier. But this is the way to play it. This is how it's actually played, and you know, it's just like, you know, very genius in my opinion. Like the way one string tuned down makes all the difference, and it gives you this sound. It just fits the song so much better. You know, after like playing it like this, it's kind of hard to just like play it like regular chords. You know, it's just like it doesn't hit the same. But yeah, that's it, everyone. I hope you will enjoy learning this song today. As I always say, well, sometimes I say, if you have any requests or any specific songs in specific you'd want me to do a tutorial for, please feel free to let me know. If not, I'll just, you know, keep doing tutorials for my favorite songs and songs that make sense to do tutorials for. But with that, I'll leave you to have fun playing this song now. And yeah, have a good day, everyone, and I will see you in my next guitar tutorial.